Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to do a summer build your own palette. So I am gonna show you what I picked for eyeshadows for my holiday in Italy. If you haven't heard it before, I am going for 2 weeks on a road trip to Italy. I am from Italy, so kind of going home, but also seeing other things in the meantime. And the forecast says 30 degrees, and I'm happy. I'm just like, bring on the nice weather. I am here sitting filming with, I think it's 18 degrees outside, dark gray. That's why also like the white balance isn't the best, which I don't love, but that's okay. And I can't wait to go. So one of the things I do before going on holiday is prepare my makeup, and I wanted to create a single eyeshadow palette. I did that last year, and actually lots of you asked me what was in there on Instagram. So I thought this year I'd actually walk you through the palette in a video and actually explain to you a little bit first why I am taking a single eyeshadow palette. There are nowadays a lot of small palettes that you say, oh, they are perfect for travel. I am thinking of the Natasha Denona mini palettes, beautiful. I am thinking of the Nabla Cutie palettes, beautiful. Lots of options, and I'm actually wearing the coral today on my eyes. I wanted to test it, and it's beautiful. But the problem with it is that I cannot choose. So I would be going on holiday with these two palettes, plus this palette, plus then I need neutrals and not breaking them. So I would probably bring this Friendcation palette, which is one of my favorite for travel as well. It has a bit of everything. And since I can't choose, I didn't want to go and bring many palettes. I'm afraid they're gonna be broken, which is also a bit of an issue with me. And I have lots of new palettes that I wanted to, just play with and keep using. So what I decided, and as I said, I do it almost every year, is just create a single eyeshadow palette. This year, a difference from the others, is actually quite empty, but because I pulled out a lot of shades from my Natasha Denona Metropolis palette, a few shades from the Dreamy palette by Nabla, these are from the Gold palette, and these are just single eyeshadows. And before getting here and thinking of a color scheme for this, I laid out all of my clothes that I'm planning on taking with me on holiday on my bed, to make sure I knew the color scheme that I was going for. So I saw there was a lot of green with more palm tree type of patterns on a white background. There's some yellow, because I love yellow in summer. There is lots of more military green, warm tones, this type of tones. This is just what I like to wear, and that's also what my wardrobe contains. So that is a little bit where I started, and from there I built up a little bit of a color story for this palette. It's a bit messy in the sense that there's a lot of stuff in here, and I'm gonna try to swatch it for you in a color story. For now I have it arranged like this because I like that there's all the small pans on here, these square pans are on here, and then the rest is on top. There's a lot of space left still, but I don't think I'm gonna actually add anything to this because I think it has everything I need. So without further ado, let's start with the neutral color story. So of course I always want to start with a light transition, and this one is the light transition from Metropolis. I don't know all the names, you guys, but this one comes from Metropolis, and it's just the lighter transition. It's a little bit of a warm toned, which is looking at the rest of the palette, I think that is fine. I would have normally gone for something like Latte by Makeup Geek, that's a little bit more neutral, but this one is smaller, first thing, and it fits very well. Then I have a neutral shade from the Gold palette right here, and this one is, as you can see, less warm and a little bit more neutral, and I wanted to keep it like something that can ground the look in a very easy way. And then I have two cream to powders, but from Metropolis. This guy, which is a little bit more red toned and a little bit warmer, as you can see. And then this guy, which instead is more, it almost has a little bit of olive tone, undertone. And from this swatch, you can't really tell the difference between this one and the other powder neutral, but here it is built up a little. It's a little bit more green. It's actually quite similar, but it has you can really see the difference between this and this. It has a different undertone and a different depth on the eye. Finally, I needed a deeper brown matte, and this is the deep brown from Gold. It's actually quite neutral, so it will fit well both with warm and cooler undertones. The neutral shimmers that I chose are Grandstand by Makeup Geek, because I like to have something that is not just an orangey neutral. This is more of a rose gold. It's one of my favorites. I got married in it. I love it, and it fits very, very well with also my more red berry color story. Then I have Legend by Makeup Geek. This one instead, as you can see, is a much warmer neutral, but I know that it works really, really well. It's a bit, I don't know. It's just a warmer neutral. And then I have the shade right here from Gold. This is the bronzy shade from Gold, and then I have the bronzy shade from Metropolis. So this one here gives me a few different depths and undertones for my neutral eyeshadow story. And these, look at how beautiful this is. These also work well with other color stories, as I said, within this palette. I do not per se have a inner corner highlight here, and the reason is I have an inner corner highlight in my yellow color story that I think will look very nice. While I was mentioning it, let's move to my yellow color story, and I'm gonna start with my shimmers. This one right here is this inner corner highlight that I spoke about. This is Sol by Clionadh Cosmetics. It's one of their regular shadows, and it's a beautiful yellow, pale yellow with a very strong mint shift. It's gorgeous. Then I have a very yellow shimmer, which is Fortune Teller by Makeup Geek from the old formulation. It's beautiful. It's one of my favorite yellow shimmers. And then I added also Oro from the Gold palette, and this is again something that will work well with the neutrals as well. It will work well with the greens, and it just is so stunning and so impactful. You can see also the difference in the shimmers between the three, with Clionadh having little of that metallic impact. These foiled eyeshadows by Makeup Geek used to be some of the most foiled in the market, and you can see that now we're at a completely different level with Natasha Denona shimmers, but also the newer Nabla shimmers, let's say. For the mattes, I have two yellow mattes, and these are Helios from Lethal Cosmetics. This is a pale pastel yellow, and I have Lemon Drop by Colored Rain, which is just a straight up yellow matte. And these are then going to be deepened up by the neutrals, and that's perfectly fine. But I like with a, for example, I have a yellow dress and I like to wear a matching eye look, or I have a blue, like a Majorelle blue jumpsuit, and I like to wear primary colors with it. So I would usually go yellow eyes, red lips. I don't know, just how I like to wear it. So one last matte that I didn't add yet, and here is this is a little bit more mustardy, and this is from Metropolis. It's a little bit more on the wearable neutral side of yellows, and this is my yellow color story. Starting on the more olive green side, I am taking with me Green Valley, and this is from Colored Rain, the Safari palette. It's beautiful, and it goes really, really well with the greens in Metropolis, which are this guy right here, that is a beautiful, I think it's Trooper, and then this guy right here, or is this Trooper? One of the two. The two greens, the two olive greens in Metropolis. And then finally I also added the shimmery green from Metropolis, which is not, I call it, in this family because I think it fits really well in this family, but it's not per se a olive green shade, but it's a murky green, let's say. It doesn't really fall within the neutral category to me. I will wear this with greens. And these are the more, as I said, murky greens. Then if I go into the more forest green and teals, I have from Metropolis the green shimmer, or the teal shimmer, I guess. It's beautiful, and I wear these shades especially with my green dresses. And then the cream matte from Metropolis as well. I also threw in there the cream teal in Metropolis, this guy right here, in case I want to kind of create something like I have in the gold palette. This would work well as a color story, and it works very well with the yellows and with the golds. To complete a little bit this color story, I wanted a few special shimmers, and these are two shades from Tamitanuka that I pressed myself. These are Dragon Rider in the Sun and the Naughty Novice. Dragon Rider in the Sun is a very flaky eyeshadow, so I am crossing my fingers that this will not break, but I prefer to take this one rather than one of the Natasha Denona ones with me, because if this one breaks, I can repress it myself in a round pan. If a Natasha Denona one breaks, it's lost, or like I have to put it in a round pan and then it's not in the palette anymore. And the Naughty Novice is a beautiful duochrome with a green shift, which will also look really, really good, both with neutrals and with this color story. I just wanted to have something special other than regular shimmers like I showed you so far. The final color story is a bit of a warm, very warm terracotta one, and I always want to have that because it's my default, a warm terracotta eyeshadow all over the lid. And for example, Sol by Clionadh Cosmetics on the inner corner, that's like my default look. It's actually probably what I'm gonna wear most of the time. But I depotted some shades from the Nabla Dreamy 2 palette specifically for this. If you saw my haul from my package from Sephora Italy and from my friend in Italy, you've seen this makeup look that I'm gonna show you swatches for, because I created it there, or like I just did a makeup look in that video that uses these shades, and I love them so much that I want to take them with me. And these are Amarcord from the Dreamy palette, and this is like a beautiful copper shimmery, but it has glitters in it. It's like very multi-dimensional. Then I have the shade New Past, which is a regular matte, which is this terracotta matte that I was saying that I want to have in any case. Then I depotted the two creamy latex mattes, that's what they call them. Dionysus, which is this beautiful red, and the shade Offline, which is this beautiful eggplant. And I did a terrible job at swatching it because I am blind from here to what I'm doing. And this is another little color story that I will be able to combine with a lot of other things and a lot of other shimmers, but I love it. I wanted the terracotta, and I thought this terracotta was a good option. Of course, I could have taken Nabla Cinnamon, which is a favorite of mine, but it's bigger, it takes more space. And I loved having all of these teeny tiny square pans. It somehow shrank my palette so much. Here I have 15 shades and another 4 here, 19, 20, 28 shades. So in principle, this palette would be completely full if they were all round pans, and instead I still have a lot of space. I don't think I'm gonna use that space, but that is still an option. But this is like, unless there's an emergency, change of plans, change of outfits, this is the palette that is coming with me to Italy during my holiday. And I'm really happy. There's a lot of the greens. I brought neutrals just in case, and also for like, you know, keeping it on the low side. And I'm actually curious again, like every year actually, of how much I will actually be using makeup on holidays. I'm not sure that I will be wearing a lot, but yeah. Last year I did a makeup bag in retrospect, looking at the shades and the products that I use. Let me know if that is still something you want to see. What I'm gonna do is actually show you what's in my makeup bag for the rest of the products that will go in, together with my skincare, in a sort of a shop my stash style video, and that will be coming up soon. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.